BMW M4, giving you guys all my opinions on the M4 Competition. But before we do that, if you guys haven't already subscribed to the channel, take a second, hit that subscribe button, turn on your notifications so you can see more videos. First things first, let's start with what everyone is talking about, which is the front grille. So when this car first came out, everyone had something to say about this front grille. It was obnoxious, it was bold, it was loud, and most people didn't like it, myself included. But I think it grew on a lot of people. I know it grew on me for sure because I actually don't even mind it anymore. So I actually think the front end looks pretty nice now, and I would not have said that a few years ago. As you guys can see, this is my 2023 BMW M4 Competition Coupe in the color Brooklyn Gray Metallic, which is this gorgeous blue grayish color. And it does have this special 50th edition badging as well, which I'll show you guys as we walk around the car. But just looking at the front here, we have the laser lights and we have the carbon fiber package on my car as well. I think the laser lights just look sharp and clean, or just so cool. And the carbon fiber package, which I'll point out as we walk around as well, just makes the car look so sporty on the outside. Coming along this side, the first thing you notice are the wheels just coated in this brake dust. So for the brakes, I have the blue BMW M brake calipers, and the brakes are really, really good on this car, but they just completely coat the wheel in this brake dust. Another thing you'll notice on the wheel is we have the 50th edition badging on the center caps of the wheel too for all four wheels. And we got the Pirelli P0 tires with this car. So you kind of just have to play the tire lottery when you get this car. Some people get the Michelin PS4Ss, some people get the Pirelli P0s, but the people you really feel bad for are the people that get the Continentals. So let's just take a moment and pray for those people. Here we have the M4 badging on the side. It's kind of this plasticky piece, but I'm glad it's there because if you buy a car this nice, you want people to know what car you have from all four sides. So I'm glad it's here on this side. And we have the carbon fiber M winglet mirrors. It's actually very nice looking. It's an interesting shape. As you guys can see, there's a little hole here. I want to show you guys something really cool. So in my Apple Wallet, I have the BMW digital key. I can actually lock and unlock the car without having the physical key. So I just hold it up here. How cool is that? So this feature was actually pretty useful because I did get locked out of my house once, and I was able to drive to my friend's house where I keep a spare key because I could open the car with this key right here. I want to show you guys the gorgeous orange interior seats. So if you come around this way, so these are the Kyalami orange interior seats. I hope I'm saying that right, but yeah, it's this gorgeous orange color. It has this black accent down the middle, and it just makes the whole interior pop. So for the orange, you actually have the option of getting it on the door and the center on the dash a little bit as well, but I only have it on the seats, and I actually prefer it that way. I think it just adds the right amount of pop to the car. Another thing you'll notice is the M4 badge on the seat itself. It actually lights up, which is kind of cool, especially at night when you turn your car on and off. It lights up and it looks so cool in the garage. And it's a good thing the seat lights up because the kick plate actually doesn't light up. Interestingly, some of the kick plates I've seen say M4 Competition on them, but mine only says M4. So that's sad, but it's okay. It's not a huge deal in my opinion. Another thing I want to show you guys is the seat belt, because on the seat belt you can really see the detail here of the M stripe. I think it's just such a cool accent. Everyone that comes for a ride in my car always points this out as they wear the seatbelt. They always point out the stripe on the seatbelt, so it's a cool little touch there. We also, of course, have two back seats in this car. They're pretty much the same size as the AMG C63S or Audi RS5 back seats. You could fit two people back there, but they'd have to be small people. Like, don't try to put anyone above 5'6" back there, because that's just cruel. But yeah, I think someone like me, you could fit back there. Like, I'd prefer not to, but you could. Let's open up the hood and see what makes this thing go. So interestingly, there's no latch, so you pull twice on the thing and just come up here and it just opens, which is really nice because you're not burning your finger trying to find the latch. So taking a closer look at the engine, we have the M badge right here, of course, because you have to throw it in everywhere. and the BMW M Power, but it is pretty plasticky for the most part. Like this piece is plastic right here, I'm pretty sure. And we have the strut bars in this triangle formation. It actually helps with the structural rigidity of the chassis. And in the previous generation, they were carbon fiber, but they're metal here, so we don't have the carbon fiber strut bars anymore. Interestingly, not all the trim pieces on the outside are carbon fiber. So if you look at the side skirt here, it's gloss black. It's this piano gloss black instead of the carbon fiber. I kind of wish all the pieces were carbon fiber. It would just be more unique, and the carbon fiber package is pretty expensive, so I would want that, but we actually don't get that. One of my favorite carbon fiber pieces in this car is the roof. So with the M4 Competitions, you get the carbon fiber roof. It's actually pretty big. It starts back here and goes all the way up there, and it just adds such a nice touch to the car, having the roof not be the same color as the body paint. But if you get the sunroof option, the roof is going to be the same color as the body paint, so I highly recommend not getting the sunroof option with the car. Coming along to the back, something that's kind of cool that you'll notice is the little bumps in the roof actually line up with the bumps here, the dips I guess, in the carbon fiber piece here. So it's kind of a cool aero component, although I doubt this really does that much for aero, but it's just cool. The most massive BMW badge we have though is the one right here. So this is the 50th edition badge like we saw in the front, and it has the backup camera right here. This thing is just so massive, like that's my hand for comparison. And we have the black M4 Competition badge here, but if you guys see on this side, we have a silver xDrive badge. That actually annoys me a little bit because I wish this was black just so we can have uniform badging through the car. Who knows, maybe I'll even black it out, but for now, that piece is silver. So coming along to the bottom here, we have this massive carbon fiber diffuser. Although it does have the piano glass back trim up here, I think this looks really nice, really aggressive, really sporty. And we have the exhaust tips, which are real exhaust tips, not fake ones like the AMG C63S. It sounds pretty good too, like you guys will hear on our drive. So here we have the trunk. It's pretty standard size. I think it's just about as big as the C63S or RS5. Interestingly, this is the RS5 cargo net in the car, because BMW charges something crazy like 150 bucks just for this cargo net. So this one is from the RS5. But yeah, pretty standard. I feel like you could fit 2 big suitcases in here, which is about what you'd expect for this car. And of course we have the power close buttons. What is going on? Okay, there we go. One more thing, we actually don't have the kick open and close with this car, but that's actually a really good thing, because just imagine the pain from kicking this carbon fiber. If I accidentally kick the carbon fiber while trying to open and close the trunk, that would just, so I'm glad we don't have that. Before we go on our drive, let's get inside and I'll show you guys what the inside looks like from the driver's perspective. Let's start from left to right with the left door panel. So as you guys can see, the car has a Harmon Kardon speaker system, and I think the speaker system is pretty good, but it's not as good as the Bang & Olufsen system in the RS5. That speaker system was truly, truly good, but sometimes this system just sounds a little bit hollow, but it gets the job done. Moving along to the wheel, as you guys can see, it's a round wheel. It's not a flat bottom wheel. Personally, I like the flat bottom wheels better, but there are several things about these wheels that make up for it and make it feel a little bit sportier. Like the M stitching here, I think is just such a really nice touch. And of course the M logo, the carbon fiber. So we have carbon fiber all along here, and the paddle shifters are carbon fiber as well. I also really like the M1, M2 controls here. They look really nice and just add such a sporty touch to the car. Also, one thing you'll notice is, interestingly, this badging right here isn't the 50th edition badging. On the outside of the car, all the badging is 50th edition, but on the wheel here, it's the regular BMW badging, which I actually don't mind. I feel like maybe it would have been too much to have that over here. I also really like the M display here. So this is how the regular display looks, and this is the M display. Interestingly, as you guys can see here, the RPM display goes 0 up this way, like the fighter jet style, instead of left to right, like most cars do. You guys can see when I rev here, it goes up this way. Coming along the center here, we have our touch screen, which is actually very nice and very responsive. So we have our M setting configurations. This is what I've set my M2 to, and this is what we're going to be driving in later on our drive. I also want to show you guys the sport display and the driving information. So this is actually pretty cool. So we have our G meter, we have boost, engine oil temperature, torque, horsepower. Yeah, this display I think is just pretty cool. We also have a very nice 360 camera, so we can actually change which angle we're looking at. It's very nice, especially when you're parking. This overhead view is just really, really nice. Moving down the center here, of course we have our volume adjustment knob and radio controls. But my favorite part, which is all this carbon fiber along here and a little strip right here as well, it just makes the car feel so much sportier on the inside, and it's just such a nice touch. But the one thing I will say though is it gets really reflective in the sunlight. This piece right here above the cup holders just reflects the sunlight into your eyes. So if it's a sunny day, I like to leave this open just so I'm not getting blinded by the glossy carbon fiber. One interesting thing is you'll notice there's a blank here. So some of the cars have this little badge that says M4 Competition here, but mine is actually missing this badge. I'm not sure if this is just a shortage or why they didn't put in this badge here, but yeah, I don't know, kind of sucks, but it is what it is. I also really do like the gear shift lever. It has the M stitching here and it's leather with the M badge right here. So to get into reverse, you go left and up. And to get into drive, you just kind of knock it to the right. And if you do that twice, it toggles between the automatic mode and the manual mode. And on here as well, we have the park button and the engine transmission settings from least aggressive to most aggressive. And lastly, I saved the honors of pulling off the sticker for this video, so let's do that. Oh, so satisfying. So to start off the drive, we're gonna be in comfort mode. As you guys expect, it's very comfortable. You have just a good amount of power and really smooth, really easy to drive in comfort mode. But that's not what we're here to see. So right away, let's just switch to my version of Sport Plus mode. Like I told you guys, there's no official like Sport Plus mode in this car. So I've set my Sport Plus settings, which I've showed you guys on the M mode settings. So this is my M2. So these M2 settings are where the car just really lights up, in my opinion. It's just so fun to drive. Like, come on. So one thing I noticed when I first got this car though, and I started driving it, is I felt like it was actually a lot quicker than a 0 to 60 time of 3.4 seconds. And I did some digging on this, and it turns out a lot of people have actually clocked this car to be a lot faster than 3.4 seconds 0 to 60. So one article I saw by a car and driver said that they tested the M4 Competition xDrive, and the 0 to 60 they were able to get was 2.8 seconds. That's really fast. Like, for context, like that's just as fast as some of the previous generation supercars. So I really feel like you guys are getting a lot for your money with this car. I really love the xDrive on this car too, because what's the point of power if you can't put down the power? That's my biggest thing with the AMG C63S is you have a lot of power, but the car just isn't good at putting down the power when you put your foot down. But with the xDrive, it's really good at putting down the power. Just like the Audi RS5 was really good at putting down the power with the Quattro. But this car just feels a lot quicker, especially with the RS5, because you pretty much need a tune to get it to be in the 500s, because stock it's like 444 horsepower. Let me downshift so you can hear how it sounds. I think it sounds pretty good stock. Hear how it sounds. like pops and burbles you get too. Although some of that is fake noise, but that's just how all the cars are these days. I think this is also a major sound upgrade from the previous gen M4. The car just handles so well too. In the curves it just feels really good, really planted, really balanced. But in the straight line is where you really get to put your foot down. Like, come on. So is the M4 Competition xDrive worth it? In a world where the AMG C63S is now a 4-cylinder hybrid and the new RS5 is rumored to also become a hybrid in the next year, the M4 is the last remaining option in this segment for combustion engine purists. It's a major step up in every way from the previous generation, and it has an incredible amount of power while also offering refinement when you need it. BMW has shown what they're capable of with this car, and it will for sure bring smiles to anyone who drives it.